And he just made it weird, and that is my cue to leave. I'm out.
Bye. Our one-hit wonder that was probably not a wonder. I am Dwayne. This is
Amber.
And this is Making It Weird.
Making it weird.
Since we always make it weird here, and we just want to make sure that you're making it weird at home, make sure you're sharing, liking, commenting, all of the fun things.
Just please don't send us pictures of your genitalia. You'll immediately and aggressively be blocked.
I mean, unless they're good pictures, because then we'll post it for money.
No.
They gave it to us. It is free range.
I'm done, Dwayne. I'm done with you.
How could you be done with me? How?
Yeah, true. You're my best friend.
I'm a lovely person.
You're like my only friend.
That's true.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Making It Weird, where we like to make it weird, and honestly, I'm just weird.
Yeah, we're both weird. That's what makes it work.
I know. We're great.
So I'm the man. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyways, we're gonna be talking.
What is wrong with you?
I'm having a stroke over here. So basically, what we're going to be talking about is dating advice and more.
You should not take dating advice from us. I'm going to be perfectly transparent. I don't know what I'm doing.
But you want to know if you've been dating and that guy is not calling you back, you could totally email us his number and we will call him and make sure we know why.
Our email is makingitweirdpodcast@gmail.com.
Once again, that's makingitweirdpodcast@gmail.com, where you can send us your funny stories, or we can call that special that just did not call you back, and we'll figure out why. Did we steal this idea? No, we took it. We all know where it's from. Making It Weird, sponsored by Raven and Associates. If you have a bone to pick, we'll get it for you. Anyways, so we're going to get into our dating ideas.
Oh, I feel like you're the perfect person for this. I feel like you're the perfect person for this.
Oh, because I'm just the dating expert.
Yes. We also have an Instagram where you can send us stuff.
Ooh.
Requests, your second date, ex's phone number. I don't care who.
Or you're just fun stories that you don't want to tell by yourself, but we'll tell it for you.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I just want the drama. I just want to know all the tea.
All the drama, all the time.
But yeah, we love drama. We love tea. So, once again, this is Dwayne. I am Amber. And let's do another little intro about ourselves.
We both like dogs. We hate stupid people, and we like ourselves. Anyways, so our segment on dating. We just want to talk about some advice we have for people that are dating right now. The first one's be honest. No one tells you guys this, especially in this generation, because honesty is the best policy. What?
We just shared a brain cell.
Oh my god. Finally, a full one.
We usually rock it on a half.
Yeah, we do. No, what I mean by honesty is, God, this was supposed to be a serious one, but we're so goofy on this one. We took a car ride. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
just be honest. Like, I don't want to go on a date and you'll be like, oh, I'm super successful in my business, in my personal life. Like, I'm just amazing. I'm the bee's knees. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. When in all reality, you're a bum.
Or I honestly just don't lie about your interest. I feel like that's the biggest one. Because if you're like, oh, this guy likes hunting, or this girl likes makeup, or this and that, and you go, oh, I like that. I like this. I like that. The problem is yes, you'll get that date. You'll get the second date. But eventually when you're starting to date, you'll run into issues that, why are you writing on your hand?
Because it's what I do. Guys, so you guys aren't left out of the loop, I am having little hearts all over my hand because I was left unsupervised with a pen.
Hand me.
It's a Sharpie, actually.
Why are you like this?
Because I have ADHD to the max.
So a lot of the issue that lies in telling the wrong, like
Not being truthful.
not being truthful, is eventually you're going to realize how much you hate those things. And then it's all built on a lie. You want to build a foundation first.
Oh, yeah. Like, okay, so I went on a first date with this dude. This was prior to Sebastian. Way prior to Sebastian. So I went on this date with a dude, and prior to it, like, you know how on like dating apps, you like select your interests and that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I put on there that I like being outdoors. I like fishing. I like hunting.
Which, by the way, she does. She
I do.
100% does.
Oh, I love it. I'm such a tomboy. It's not even funny.
She goes fishing more than I do, and that says something.
I have an addiction. It's a healthy addiction.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, I've only spent like a couple $100 into my addiction, which is like far less than most people.
Yeah. Anyways, so you're on this.
So I went on this date. Like, I put on there, like, I like fishing, I like hunting, I like being outdoors, I like hiking. And this dude was like, oh, I love all that stuff too. And I asked him on the date, I was like, where do you like to hunt? Like, where's a good place to hunt elk?
So you were testing him.
I was just asking. Like, it was a legit question. Like, where do you like to hunt? Like, where do you like to fish? Like, I'm curious. Like, I'm always down for new, like, hunting and fishing spots.
Which, to be fair, if you hunt and fish, you have a spot.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. My family has a spot that we love so much. We literally built a cabin up there. Like, my brother literally built a cabin, and we use it every year for hunting.
So, yeah. So he didn't have a spot.
He didn't have a spot. He was like, oh,
it's all over south,
Yeah, I like to, like the mountains at the end of the valley by like past American Fork and everything. Like,
that does not explain anything.
Like, that is not, like, granted, my family goes up to Soldier Summit and we hunt up there.
Yeah, let's south, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's south of us. Like, it's way up in the mountains. Like, there's no cell service. It's great. Love it.
Mine's right where the cell service is if you hit certain points. It's great.
Yeah, not mine. Like, there's no cell service. Like, you gotta hike back to the cabin and then drive.
Oh, no, that's how ours is.
45 minutes down the mountain.
Mine's not that. Mine's probably, yeah.
But, like, everybody's got a spot, right? Like, everybody's got a spot, like, where they like to be.
And if you don't, you're basically telling on yourself.
Like, granted, I get it. Like, some spots, some years, for a few years, don't hit as good. But, like, I go up to Strawberry. There's a lake. I can't even remember that. It's not even a lake. It's a pond where my family and I go fishing. Like, where me and all my cousins, my pa, my dad, and like my brothers and I all go fishing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember the lake name. I know how to get there. Oh, I can get you there, and I can
yeah, but you can still describe where it is.
So, like, you drive all the way down to Orangeville. You hit the "Welcome to Orangeville" sign. You take a right. You follow this janky ass road.
That is such a country way of describing things.
You follow.
You go here. You take a left. You hit the dog that got hit 3 years ago. You take a left, and then when you go up, you're going to see the reindeer, but it's not a reindeer; it's a rock reindeer. But you'll see it. And then take a right.
Anyway, it's a country way to describe it, but like, you literally drive through there. You drive through like this so scary canyon, like where it's like on one side is a cliff face, 2-lane road, sometimes slightly smaller, dirt road, drop.
Then you know you're there.
No, then you keep going past that. And then you hit like this little town and you keep going through that town and you keep driving for like another 20 minutes through another sketchy little switchback sitch, and then you hit the lake.
So the thing is
it takes like an hour to get there.
That's fair. My spot, it's like, oh, it's Current Creek. And if you don't know where Current Creek is, to describe, because it's like, oh, you see Strawberry. And
today's episode of Making It Weird, sponsored by, do you need a comfortable place to stay with good company?
Wow.
Come to Amber's living room. We'll leave the light on, pull out the couch for you. I mean, I am barefoot 99% of the time. I grew up so country. I hate shoes. Hate shoes. Like, if I could, I would be barefoot like almost all the time.
Almost.
Almost.
The thing is I grew up that way, but we always wore shoes. I was more comfortable in shoes. I got bitch feet.
Yeah, not me. Like my grandpa raced and trained thoroughbreds. And so like I would literally go run around in the fields, like where the horses are. Granted, there's snakes, there's spiders, there's things that could bite my feet. I didn't care. I was running around horses barefoot.
I think it's because the countryside that we more grew up, it was sticks, rocks, everything else like
Oh, yeah,
that.
I
So
was
it was,
running on sticks and rocks all the time. I didn't give a shit.
I don't know, maybe my parents just liked me more.
I don't know. My parents were like, "Oh, you stepped on a rusty nail. Time to get the tetanus shot.
You're 5. You went to school. You're fine.
You're fine." Like, I graduated high school. I got my associate's degree. I went to college. But, like, I hate shoes. Like, I grew up so hillbilly. Like, we're literally, like, it was like my grandparents would be like, in or out, take your pick. I'm not going to have the glass door swinging. I'm not going to have the screen door swinging. Open and close all day. Like, you're letting in the flies. And so, like, we would have to pick in or out. We could only come in for lunch and then dinner. And we were allowed to go back out till it was dark or till the street lights went on. And then we had to come inside for the night.
So mine was the street lights until I hit about 15. And then the rule was if you come inside, like say you come home from school, you do your thing and leave, the minute you come back, you're home.
You're home for the night.
And so I would push that. I wasn't doing anything bad. Like I only had the cops called me once for breaking my own TV. Anyways, so realistically, sometimes I'd be out till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Not me. Oh, no.
Oh, your parents would kill you.
My parents would have killed me. If I was not home by the time those street lights turned on, dead. They were calling my friends because we didn't have cell phones.
Oh, but not joking.
Not joking.
It didn't matter if the streetlights were on, streetlights were off, and it didn't that didn't matter. The minute I came home, even if it was for one thing, I'm home. I can't leave. So no
you better
joke.
make sure you got everything with you.
You get home, you do your thing, you leave before dad gets home, and don't come back until you're ready to come home.
Yeah, not me. My dad worked for the railroad. If I did that, I would have been gone for weeks on end.
Yeah.
My mom lost her mind.
No, I think there was like one time it was 3 days my mom didn't see me.
Yeah, no, not me. If I was not home by like 9, 10 o'clock at night, even when I was allowed to start dating, like my parents would tell my date 10 o'clock on the dot, you have her home. She better be walking through that front door at 10 o'clock.
Do not get me wrong though. If I was on a date and I got the instruction, not a minute before, it would be 9:59 walking in that door. I did not mess with that stuff.
Oh yeah, no, nobody I dated did.
Not saying me and her date. I'm just saying
we've never dated, never will date. It'd be like dating my brother.
Oh, even worse, dating your
This
best
ain't
friend.
Alabama.
It'd be like dating your first cousin from your mom's side.
Be weird.
Nah, I'm more on your dad's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, more on your dad's side.
I don't talk to my mom's side or my dad's very much.
Yeah, but knowing your dad, I feel like I could be on your dad's side.
Oh yeah, my dad's cool.
Yeah. A little
My dad-
crazy.
Not really. It's mostly
No, he's so chill, but he's one of those guys that would lose it and you would know he lost it. Like, oh, I messed up.
My dad is like a teddy bear. My dad is such a teddy bear. But like the minute you push past that,
You cross that line.
you cross that line, even a toe, even a slight toe across that line, bye. You're grounded. Like I would get grounded if I crossed the line. Like it was so bad. Like, so all my dating partners, because I grew up LDS, they all knew my family because I mostly dated in my ward or kids that I went to school with who knew how strict my parents were. And so nobody pushed that because all my friends knew if I got dropped off at 9:59 and I walked in that door at 10 o'clock and 15 seconds, game over, grounded for a week or two. I think the longest I got grounded, and I pushed this when I was a teenager because
Of course he did.
that's what I did. I was a little rebellious brat. And like, I pushed it. I got grounded for a month. No TV, no music, nothing outside of school, church activities. That was it. 6 months grounded because I pushed it. So like, I literally pushed it and I got grounded for 6 months.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Anyways, so we're going to go back to what we are talking about earlier.
Before we side quested.
Always. Making It Weird, brought to you by your neighborhood crack dealer. Discounts are always on Tuesdays. When you're dating someone, honesty and sharing your interests that you're actually interested in, not just...
Please don't lie.
It's not worth it at the end, because if you want an actual like long-term relationship, it's not worth
sitting there lying and being like, oh, haha, I like these things, when in all reality, you don't.
Not at all. It's just not worth lying, and it's not worth lying about your interests, about who you are. Just if you're looking for someone that you're actually going to spend time with, if you want to get in, like, say, my big thing is hunting. So if you want to get in that, tell me that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, tell me. Be like, hey, I want to get into this. Would you be willing to teach me? Absolutely. 99% of the time, I'm going to say yes.
That's the honesty that we're talking about. Like, don't say, oh, yeah, that's what I've done and I love doing, when you've never done it. But if you have...
Just don't lie about it. If you want to get into something that I'm into, great.
But say it like that. Say, hey, I haven't done that, but I might be interested in doing it. Most of the time, it's like, oh, cool, I can show you. But if you're really not into things, don't say it just to get with someone.
I'll happily take my partners fishing. If they've never fished before, I will happily take them fishing. I'll teach them. That's weird. Like, I'll teach them how to fish.
Yeah. Well, and also just back to kind of like our first episode. Don't hype yourself up.
Don't hype yourself up. Don't come to the date with me and be like, or one of us, like, don't go to a date with somebody and be like, oh yeah, I'm the CEO, like, of this company. Like,
and that's not...
I'm going to dramatize it. Like,
if it's sex, if it's this, if it's that, just don't. Just, unless it's worth hyping up. If you are at that point where you can hype yourself up and it's actually something that you think you're the best at, sure, go for it.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, hype yourself up. Oh, Sebastian in the background.
Yeah. All you hear is, ha, 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 ha.
If you guys can hear my boyfriend giggling in the background, deal with it.
Deal with it. Okay.
We live together.
I'm just the weird person that comes by.
All the weekends, he's babying dogs.
Okay.
We don't judge. We listen and we don't judge.
I judge. What other advice?
Don't like overhype.
Yep, no hyping.
With me. Be honest and don't overhype. Like,
hyping is fine.
Hyping is so fine
when it's deserved. But when it's not deserved, don't hype it.
Don't overhype
and
it.
Don't overhype it. Underhyping is fine too.
Underhype it.
I love you, boo boo. Aww.
Well, the hell with you too. Fuck you too. Sebastian, fuck you. No. Like, be truthful.
It's truthfully,
be truthful. Like,
and you're gonna think, oh, I've been on dates, I've been this, I wasn't truthful. Honestly, look at how you talk about things. It's not really the not hyping things up or not lying. It's more how you describe things to other people that might sound boring. Maybe change the words up or how you say it. If you're like, oh yeah, I program computers all day. Okay, that sounds boring. That sounds like you...
Make it sound interesting. Like, if I went on a date with somebody and I was like, oh yeah, I just run a group home for adults with autism and disabilities.
Yeah, there's so many. It's just like when you're doing it, resume, spice it up. We're not saying lie. We're not saying bend the truth. What we're saying is, hey, don't go, oh, I do programming. Especially how you say it. Not the words, but like how you actually say it. If you're like, talk about actually what you program and sound hyped about it. Like, oh yeah, I
overhype it. Make it sound fun what you do.
That stuff. That's called sprinkling and spice. That's all that. Sprinkling and spice is totally fine. We're not saying it's not overhyping. It's just how you say it. Sprinkle and spice.
Sprinkle a little bit spice. Like, I want to know what you do.
Like, yeah, I could say, like, my last job, oh, I deliver construction supplies. Wah. Oh, I move rebar and building supplies to all across Utah. That sounds way cooler.
Sounds way cool.
It's not, oh, I'm a delivery guy and that's all I do and my life is just that. Spice it up.
Make it sound interesting.
I lift 1,000 pounds off of rebar off my truck and deliver it from Eagle Mountain to Ogden. And I'm all over and I meet a bunch of people. So much more spiced up than I deliver building supplies. Or I work for FedEx. Spice it up.
Make it interesting, people. Come on.
Any other advice?
Let's see.
We haven't got emails yet, so when we do get emails, we'll definitely do those instead.
Oh, 100%.
Why do you hate Making It Weird? Brought to you by your neighborhood crack dealer. Discounts are always on Tuesdays.
Okay, we are now going to talk about expectations when dating. Like, personally, me, if a dude asks me out on a date, I'm going to assume he's going to pay, but I'm going to bring my own money, and I still do this to this day, and it pisses Sebastian off to no end, where I will ask him, hey, what are you going to order? And he's figured out what I'm doing. So he won't tell me what he's ordering until, like, he's ordered. But I always pick something of equal or lesser value.
That is so smart.
Like, as a courtesy thing.
I'm a guy, though, so I just order what I want.
Yeah, see, like, me, as a courtesy thing, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to get something cheaper because...
Okay, to be fair, if someone's paying, I usually try to find the cheapest option that's going to fill me up.
Yeah, like, I will always find, like, a cheaper option. Like, always.
We're going to talk about expectations.
So, like I was saying, like, I always have, like, 3 or 4 options in mind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, so that way I'm not, like...
You don't look like you're just using him for his money.
Yeah, I don't want him to be like, oh, I don't want, like, my dates to be like, oh, she's using me for money. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and so what's your expectations when you're, like, for the guy?
So for the guy, like, I don't expect the guy to, like, come pick me up. I don't want that. I don't want you knowing where I live.
Well, at least on the first date.
On the first date, yeah, no, not until, like, the 3rd or 4th date.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can know, like...
We also live in the city. It's a little bit different. Countryside, it's like, I know where you live.
Countryside's like, you know, I know where you live. Yeah, it's different. So, like, with us living in the city, like, I don't want people to know where I live. Like, I don't, like, the whole story with the Jesus guy.
Yeah.
Again, like, I don't want people to know where I live. There's some crazy people out there. So, like, I will always, like, find a way to there. Like, I will always find a way to, like, get there. Like, I will get there before my date.
Yeah.
I'll get there, like, say the date starts at, like, 6 o'clock and we're going to grab a cup of coffee or something.
You know what's really funny to me, though? Because I don't know if I just push out that, like, trusting vibe. Like, they can just and they can, because I'm not going to do anything weird. Anyways, I'm not going to do anything weird. And I think I put that vibe out there. So, like, most people are just like, yeah, come meet my kids or come hang out. Or I put off, like, a very chilling vibe, I guess.
Like
chill. Not chilling. Chilling
like
sounds awful.
Like, you put off a chill vibe. Like, yeah, like, I get that. But, like, even then, like, I still don't trust men. Because, like, I've been in some scary situations where, like, the guy had, like, the date did not go well. Guy dropped me off at home. And, like, I've literally, like, had a dude come back to my house, like, 3 or 4 days later and ask me on a date in person.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
the only probably weird thing I did was there was a chick I went to her house, like, twice, and then I was like, hey, I'm not that far, do you want me to come over? Like, we're fishing pretty close to your house, because we were just fishing in a pond. And she's like, I don't, maybe yes, no, maybe yes, no. And I was like, I don't know if it's one of those situations where they're like, I want you to just say I'm coming over, or if it's say, like, just go home.
Yeah.
And that's such a hard one to divide. And so I kind of was like, all right, I'm just gonna head over there. And that's basically, I think I spent the night too. Yeah, I think I spent the night. Oh my God, her bed was rough. Oh man, I woke up the next morning, I'm like, my body hurts. I think it kind of ruined the vibe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably did.
She's like, oh, my kids aren't here, this, and I was like, do you want me to come over? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm like,
yes or no?
Yes or no. Just tell me. That's another thing. Just be direct. I know.
No,
okay. we're dumb. But I get why women aren't direct, because if you are direct, then it either comes off bitchy or whatever to other guys, which I'm not that way. If you're just like, hey, not tonight, I would just rather be alone because I don't have the kids. Cool, I'm a dad, so I date single moms. That's the only people that are actually interested in me. But it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll go home because that's how chill I am. Like, I'm not gonna take it offense.
Just be direct.
I would rather have direction, but the thing is, I understand why women aren't that way.
Yeah, because there's some crazy ass dudes out there.
Yes, and I understand not knowing me too well to know if I'm one of the crazy dudes.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that was the last night I hung out with her. Our real date didn't end up great either, so that might have been one of the reasons too. Because we ran into her kids on our second date and her ex-husband. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
Because what we were going to do, I told her, hey, we're going to go fishing. We just need to go pick up a couple of things.
Sorry, the puppy has entered the chat.
All right, he likes grabbing cords. He doesn't really grab cords. He more just
Like,
wraps himself around it and then...
How he does it.
Such a pain.
He's a cute little baby.
Yes, he is.
He's a baby. He's just 12.
Get your baby.
He's just 12.
But yeah, we ran into her kids and her ex-husband. And she basically dropped my hand while I was holding it to not put it out there that we were dating. Which, okay, totally understand. Still freshly doing stuff and figuring it out. You don't want to hurt no matter what they did, you don't want to hurt them.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't want her kids thinking we're dating that soon in the relationship anyway. So I was really respectful. I just kind of turned away, let her do what she wanted. And I think that kind of ruined the vibe too.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't know. Dating's weird, especially, but all we're asking of people is if you're going to date, honesty and not overhyping.
Yeah.
What are you doing? But expectations for guys. You want me to get into it?
Okay, so when I go on a date with a guy, I expect to
The expectation for...
I think, personally me, in my experience, if you're going to ask me on the date, I'm...
Yeah, whoever asks, I think that goes both ways. Whoever asks for the date, and I think that's why women don't ask, because they know that implies that you're paying. But if you ask, you either have to say, hey, I would love to take you on a date, but can we go, if we do, is there any way we can go Dutch and we can do something fun?
Straight up, tell me. Be like, hey, I want to go Dutch. Okay, cool, I'll get myself. If the guy asks, I always go with the implication that we're going Dutch.
Oh, okay. For most women, though, first date, if you ask a woman out,
Or you ask a guy.
or a guy out, be expected to be the one that pays. Sorry, that's just what it is. Yes, there's the idea of guys pay for the first date. You know why? Because we're the ones asking for the first date. So whoever asks, realistically, you shouldn't assume just because.
So the guy or the girl, whoever asks first should pay for the date. Girls, I don't care if you're a girl and you ask a guy on a date. Hey, for that. Sorry, Ben is crying in the background because he's getting loved by Dwayne.
He loves me.
And he wants all the love and affection. He's just a baby.
He's just a baby. Oh my God.
That tail is flagging.
Oh my God.
So, I don't care if it's a dude, if it's a girl. I don't care. If you ask first, pay. Goddamn it. Pay for the date. That creepy breathing is neither one of us. It's Fed. His tail is wagging so hard. He's in Dwayne's lap. Just loving him.
Not my dog, but acts like, no, get away.
Like I said, whoever asked first. When Sebastian and I started dating, he asked me on the date first, but still, I paid for myself because that's just who I am. That's what I like to do. That's my personal preference. I don't like it. I don't like not paying for myself. Now, if a guy asks me on a date and he says, I got this, we're not going Dutch, cool, great, wonderful. You can pay for me. I'm still going to offer to, leave a tip or something. I always carried cash.
I think the expectation is if you ask, that's who pays.
Yeah, that should be the expectation. But I still always catch. Like, I always still got myself.
I think that's safe for any woman. If you're going to go out somewhere on the first date, go somewhere that you can afford in case they can't pay.
Yeah, that's why I choose coffee dates, because they're safe. It's public. You always need somewhere public.
Always.
If you ask first, automatically should be the one to pay, but always bring yourself.
Yeah, bring enough to pay for yourself. And if he's not if he asks you out and didn't pay, he can't pay for himself.
Girl,
that's his problem.
And
That's setting an expectation
and bounce.
Yeah,
because I have been on so many dates where the guy's been like, like I forgot my wallet at home. Tee hee ha ha. Nah, bro, I got myself.
To be fair, I did go to Texas Roadhouse once. Oh, this sounds awful, but I went to Texas Roadhouse once and I had a gift card. I was going to spend that gift card. I changed my pants right before I went on the date. Making It Weird, sponsored by Raven and Associates. If you have a bone to pick, we'll get it for you. And I left it at home.
You better taking that girl on another date.
Okay, to be fair, I did say, well, I think we went shooting and I think I paid for it. Yeah. So, but I offered, I was like, I can ask if I can drive home. I'll go get it. It's not a big deal. And she's like, no, I can pay for it. It's not a big deal. But the thing is, after that, it kind of ruins the vibe.
It does. So ladies, gents, don't do that. Don't like ask the person on a date and like,
to be fair, it was our like second date, I think, but still, it kind of ruins the vibe. It sets that expectation of, oh, now I'm going to have to pay for things, and it gets in their head of that's what's going to happen for the rest of your relationship.
She asked me out. We went on a date. He asked
your first to third date basically sets up this expectation for the rest of the relationship.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to do 50-50 everything, like rent, you want to do 50-50 everything, make that known through your dates. To be honest, if you want your relationship to be 50-50, go Dutch on everything.
Like Sebastian and I have it set up so like he pays for one date, I pay for the next. He pays for something. Like if we go out to the movies, he pays for the tickets. I'll buy the snacks.
But while you were dating, wasn't that expectation set?
Oh yeah, because
on your first date, he paid for his meal, you pay for yours.
I paid for.
And that sets up the expectation for the rest of your.
I have like paid for a full date, but so has he.
Yeah.
But we take turns who pays for that date. Like I don't want it all to be on him.
Yeah.
Like my ex-husband, everything was on him. Dates, everything, bills, dates, rent, all of it was on me.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, and to be honest, your first couple dates. Did you pay for it? He paid for it?
He paid our first date. I paid for myself. But the 2 dates post that, he paid for it. And then I was like, hey, I stepped up. And I was like, hey, I can pay. Let me spoil you.
But then it sets up the expectation that you can pay for everything. Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm saying. Between first and I would even say 5 dates, sets up the expectation for the rest of your relationship.
But my ex-husband paid for our first date. He paid for story here. A little bit of a backstory. When my ex-husband and I met, he was in prison.
Yeah.
He was in a halfway house. He violated parole, went to prison, called me from the jail. Ladies, if a man ever says he cannot call you, lies. Because the fact that my ex-husband went and was like, he was getting arrested. He said, I need to make a call. And the halfway house cops were like, okay, you can make one call. And he chose to call me instead of his mama and be like, hey, I'm going to prison. I need you to call my mom. This is the jail I'm going to. I will call you as soon as I can at the prison, as soon as your number is approved. And within 2 weeks, he called and he was like, hey, I'm so sorry. So ladies, if a man tells you he can't call you or he can't do something, bullshit. The fact that my ex-husband, a felon, went out of his way to make sure he called me to tell me, hey, I'm getting arrested. I violated my parole. It's my fault. This is on me. I messed up and made that call to me. Big points right there. That was big points.
Yeah.
Ladies,
he wasn't the best person.
He's not the best person. There's a reason he's my ex-husband. But besides the point, irrelevant. Like, the guy can make the effort. Guys, make the effort. It's not difficult. It's really not.
And honestly, as someone that's divorced, even when you're tired, even when you're upset, even when
Shoot a text.
you have to put the effort in. Okay, and this is going to sound so messed up, but after living my life, this is how life really works. I'm sorry, it's just true. Women will hold anything you say against you in a court of law, and you can't really hold anything against them if you're not going to talk about it.
Your partner is God, judge, and jury.
And honestly, as a guy, let things go, move on if it's worth moving on. If it's not worth moving on, talk about it.
Talk about it, evaluate it.
And if it is that bad, leave. Sorry, that's just my life event advice for you. Anyways, it's getting late.
Yeah.
We love you. We respect you. And
we really do appreciate you guys.
Don't call us.
Answer.
We'll call you. Yeah. So I don't even know what I was gonna say.
We appreciate you. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Good morning, good night, and good evening.
We're signing off episode 2.
This is Making It Weird.
Remember,
I'm Dwayne.
Nice to speak with y'all. We look forward to your emails.
And right here on the screen,
we have an Instagram.
I don't know what we have.
TikTok.
It's gonna be here, right? You see that screen?
TikTok.
The screen right here. Oh! It just popped up. So everything you can follow us on, our email is gonna be right here. Oh, right there on the screen. You can see it. Email us your funny stories, or you want to reconnect with someone and they're not messaging you. We're the perfect people for it, mostly because we'll make it funny. Anyways, good night, good evening, and if I don't see you, hi. Anyways,
Bye, y'all.
Making it weird.